Hey y'all, I'm Naima. This is my Louisiana kitchen, and today we're making country ribs and sweet potato cornbread waffles. Let's get into this. It's so rich and decadent and filling. You're gonna love it, I promise. So first I started off with some country ribs that I cleaned and I trimmed the excess fat off of, and then I squeezed the juice of 2 mandarins on there. And if you don't have mandarins, then you can also use oranges, the juice of 1 orange. Then I'm pouring some whiskey in there. This one is optional. If you don't want to use alcohol, leave it out. Then I put some salt, some garlic powder, smoked paprika, ginger, cumin, mustard, sage, nutmeg, and cayenne pepper. And then you're going to rub that into the meat and massage it in there really well until every piece is fully coated. And then you're going to let it marinate for at least 4 hours. I let it marinate overnight though. So then you're going to brown the meat in some fat. I took some fat that I cut from the meat and I melted it down, and that's what I'm browning it in. And you're going to let that go for about 10 minutes until it's nice and golden brown like that. And you want to make sure that you get every side, including the fat cap that's on it. So you're going to turn it over on the side like that and make sure you get that piece of fat nice and golden and crispy, just like that. That's what you want it to look like. Alright, now so I'm about to chop 1 onion and a few cloves of garlic. And you're going to turn that heat down on that oil because you're going to brown the onion and the garlic in the fat that you brown the meat in. So chop that garlic up, dice it up real small, and then put it back in the pot. And you're going to cook it down, stir it, cook it down until the onions are like almost caramelized. You want it to be really brown and translucent and almost caramelized to get the most flavor out of it. Alright, so now I'm going to add some steamed cane syrup. This is a Louisiana classic, but if you don't have access to this, you can also use molasses. So you put the cane syrup in, and then I'm adding a little apple cider vinegar. So it's going to be sweet and tangy. And then I'm adding some water. And you're going to just let that cook down for a while, give it a nice little stir. And then you're going to add the meat back to the pot. And in addition to the meat, you're also going to take the juice that then drained out onto the plate and pour that in too, because that is a lot of flavor and you don't want to miss out on none of that. So put the meat in the pot, cover it, and then let it cook for a couple of hours. And this is what it looks like when it's done. So the meat should fall apart, and I just broke it up with a spoon. Like that's how it got into chunks. And I added some sazon after it was finished cooking. And yeah, that's it for the ribs. So now on to the waffles. So I had some leftover candied sweet potatoes, and I added some milk to that, some eggs, and then I pureed that together with my immersion blender. So you want to make sure that you get that nice and smooth and no lumps or anything like that, because who wants lumpy waffles? Okay, so now for the dry ingredients, you have some cornmeal, some flour, a little bit of salt, some baking powder, baking powder, and some cinnamon. And you're going to stir that up until everything is well blended and fully mixed. And then you're going to make a well in the middle, and that's where you're going to pour the sweet potato and milk mixture and the eggs. So pour that in, and then you're going to fold it. You don't want to mix it too hard because, like I've said in previous videos, when you're dealing with flour, you don't want to over mix it because it's going to build up gluten, and too much gluten means a tough end product. Alright, so now you're going to put it in your warm waffle iron and just let that cook for however long you need to cook. I'm making smaller waffles because that's just what I like. So I probably let that cook for about, 3-4 minutes. And now I'm plating it up. I'm putting the ribs on top of the waffles. And this is the end product. I put some green onions on there as a garnish, and voila! Bon appetit. If you try the recipe, please let me know. I love feedback.